Mark. What is up, guys? Jason Lohr here with Jason Lohr Photography and Films, and today I wanted to do a quick test and review on the Canon RF 16mm 2.8 lens. I just got this in yesterday and did an unboxing video as well if you guys haven't seen it. That way you guys can see the build quality and also just the size of that thing, which is a very tiny little lens, almost the size as the 50mm, or as we like to call the nifty 50. So this lens was very light and it fit really perfectly well with the EOS-R because both are pretty light in general. The EOS-R being a mirrorless camera is light, and also being just a 16mm lens, like it's just light altogether. So I had it on my Ronin SC gimbal, and you know, it went pretty well. It was kind of heavy at first because I guess I haven't been used to like just carrying the gimbal with just one hand, so it was a little bit of work, but you know, I think in time as I do it more, I'll build up the strength to, you know, carry it all around and do more of my weekend walk episodes with it. So just real quick, we'll jump straight to the park to where I have it on both the gimbal and then switching it over to just handheld so you guys can see the difference. So I'm taking my 16mm 2.8 RF lens out for a spin. So right now I have it on my my DJI Ronin SC on my EOS-R mirrorless camera. So right now it's looking really smooth. I just want you guys to get a feel of like just how it's looking on a gimbal versus handheld. So far I'm liking the gimbal, like on the gimbal, because it's nice and smooth. But the thing is that if you don't work out as much as like I do, which I know I say I'm gonna hit the gym pretty soon, but yeah, it gets a little bit heavy. Thankfully, the lens itself and the EOS-R isn't that heavy, but the gimbal itself, like after a while, it can get pretty heavy if you're just holding it with one hand. But so far, I'm liking the smoothness of it. So let's go ahead and switch over to handheld and see the difference. Cool. So now we're off the gimbal. Now we're on to the to my right hand, and so this is what it's going to look like when it's on handheld versus on a gimbal. So you know, it's like there's a little bit of jiggle and probably a lot of jiggling, but just keep in mind that this lens doesn't have any image stabilizer, so it's all going to be based on like how well you hold it, and also just if your camera has a built-in stabilizer, which will help, but otherwise this is what you're gonna get when you're walking. I got my backpack on right now too, so that could add a little bit of like a challenge to like keeping this steady, but otherwise this is, yeah, the difference between a handheld and on a gimbal. So if anything, I would recommend the gimbal, but just keep in mind that it's gonna be a little bit more weight on you given like how heavy the gimbal may be, and with the camera on top of that altogether. But otherwise, I'll let you guys decide that, and I'm gonna turn your guys' attention back to me back at home. See ya. All right, guys, so now you've seen the difference between having the camera on a gimbal and having it just handheld with the 16mm 2.8. So I will say this, again, the weight of both the lens and the camera just made a huge difference to where I can get at least a good mile walk before, you know, my arm gets like really tired. But otherwise, like I said, with practice and with a lot of training, you know, you'll build that strength of like having to carry it on a gimbal. But otherwise, if you have it on your hands, if you're not really shaky, then like it will suffice. But otherwise, it's like the only two things you can hope for is that your camera has a built-in image stabilizer like the R6 and the R5, or you have a gimbal with you to where, you know, you have that stabilization and, you know, that smooth movement when you're walking around with it. So the options are out there. I'll let you guys decide on that. And one last thing too is the focus. So I have it on autofocus right now, and I had it on autofocus when I was out doing my walk too, and it was actually able to follow my face very quick. And you know, as you can see, my face was all over the frame as, you know, the camera was like kind of swinging a little bit back and forth. So that's very impressive for a very small lens. So definitely kudos for you know, that feature, because, you know, again, if it's not going to be like a, you know, a vlogging or selfie vlogging, it could be like other things moving in front of the camera as well. So very impressive. All right guys, so that's it for this review. I hope you guys found it helpful, and if you guys have any more questions, definitely leave them in the comments section below, and I'll put in some links in the description as well to where you can buy this camera lens. And if you guys want to check out more of my work, you can find them on my social media network, and if you guys haven't done so either, definitely click on that subscribe button. That way you guys can get more updates on projects and events that I'll be a part of as well. So until then, this is Jason Lore with Jason Lore Photography and Films, bringing art, stories, and entertainment.